Started the company about 25 years ago from the second floor apartment that I had in a two-family house, so we've come a long way since then. We're in such an amazing industry, and I've done this literally all over the world. I haven't been on stage in a little while, so if I get a little ADD, ADHD on you, just bring me back, okay? But one of the most important things that you all have is they're your shears, right? Because if they don't work, you can't, tell your client, hey, I'm sorry, I can't cut your hair today. So we're going to go over a lot of stuff that you were hopefully you were supposed to have been trained in beauty school. And it could be a lot of years ago, or maybe you were never taught those things. So we're going to go over, blade tension, disinfecting and lubricating. Difference between titanium and stainless. A lot of people still don't know what that is. How to properly fit it to your hand, and so on and so forth. So so let me start first. I was going to say if anybody has any initial questions, and just curious, anybody have any questions before we even start? Okay. If there's something that I don't go over, all right, and you want to know, please ask me. Take advantage of me being here. Real quickly also, I do want to let you know, and it's I'm not up here to sell, I'm up here to educate, but just to let you know what makes shark fin shears different. There's a lot of great shear companies out there. Hikari, Casio, I saw Casio was here, Matsutani, etc. It's really important, and we're going to go over this in the class, to make sure that your shears are custom fitted to your exact ring finger and thumb diameter. Think about it. You don't buy shoes that don't fit, but you buy shears that are one size fits all. So we have a patented handle design, so it stops your middle finger from sliding up and over. So any of you that have any neck, shoulder, elbow, wrist pain, that's a big part of it, because you're misaligning the nerves and tendons. And we have a patented scissor fitting system. Larry should be here. He's going to be handing out some little swag bags that'll have a catalog in there and explains a lot of that stuff. So let's jump right into it, okay? Legally, and I've done this all over the world, you have to disinfect and lubricate your shears, right, after every client. So how do you disinfect and lubricate? So when you're disinfecting, you never want to take your shears and put it all the way into a disinfectant container like Barbicide or something. You can take a spray bottle, spray this happens to be a tissue or a napkin, spray it, pinch the blades. Never pinch the blades and move your hand, because what can happen, I'll do without the tissue, you can roll your thumb, and when you slide your thumb, what are you going to do? You're going to go to the emergency room for stitches, right? So, and just to prove a point, so what you do is you have the disinfectant on here, you pinch and pull. You never move the hand that's pinching the blade. So if I look the other way and I pinch and pull, I can't cut myself. It's impossible, okay? If I pinched and moved my thumb and my index finger, yes, that can be a problem. Now you've disinfected. Now you've stripped off all the lubricant on your blades. So think about a car. If you run low on motor oil, what are you going to do, right? You're going to blow up the engine. And it could be we have shears that go up to $1,600 at Damascus. You'll blow them up. It'll take longer, but you're going to do that. So with shark fin, we give you this huge tube of scissor oil. Okay, it has a little tip on the end. Okay, it's not the ones you cut them, because then they just leak all over your counter and your shear case. And what you're going to do is take off the tip, and you can use a cotton cloth, you can use a tissue, I have paper towels here, it doesn't matter, and keep that at your station. So what you're going to do is put some shear oil, not on the shear. I see a lot of people, they'll put it on here, on both sides, they go like this. And you look at it, it didn't really do much. It does basically nothing. So put it on, again, a cotton cloth, an old cotton sock. So you can't see this, you have to just trust me, it's on there. And you're going to fold it over the blade. I'm going to pinch, and I'm going to pull. And when you look at the shear, I wish you guys could see this, but you can see where I stopped, where the rest of the blade was behind the tissue. And you can see the oil. And you're going to do the other side pinch. And I shouldn't have done that, right? So pinch and pull. And just make sure you've got all the excess oil off of the blades. What have you done? You've just re-lubricated your blades. Do not use clipper oil. It's thinner. In a pinch, believe it or not, our oil is a food-grade oil. So you could really use olive oil, canola oil, any type of oil in a pinch to do that, okay? So it's just pinch and pull, that's it. You don't have to do it for 5 minutes or 20 seconds. Do that after every client, not every other client, not once a day. And any story, and you guys have been hairstylists probably long enough, you've heard every story in the book, as have I, okay? What that's going to do, our shears, even our student shears, believe it or not, will go 20 years or longer, as long as you're taking care of them with disinfecting and lubricating after every client. It takes 2 seconds, especially for the lubrication part. You have this on your station. You get done with Mary. You put some spray. You wipe it off to disinfect it. You grab this. It's probably got a ton of oil in it anyway. And you go boom, boom. Now you're ready for your next client. Really, I can't tell you how important it is. Even if you go every other client, you're going to reduce the life expectancy in between sharpenings. Okay? So any questions on disinfecting and lubricating? Okay. The next thing is blade tension. We get calls all the time and emails all the time. I bought your shears a month ago and I loved them, and now I hate them because they're pushing and folding the hair. So, and when we get complaints that our shears are pushing and folding the hair, the first thing we ask is, well, were they working well at first? And 99.999% of the time the answer is yes, they are. So that tells me, and then the next thing is we go over blade tension. Oh, I didn't know I had to do that. Blade tension is so simple. If you remember with the adjustment knob, it's righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, right? So a properly adjusted shear you should have, when they're cleaned, about a 1-inch gap approximately. It doesn't have to be exact. If they're slapping shut like this, they're too loose, okay? If they hang open, they're too tight. So with our shears, and I'm sure other shears the same way, ours click, and I don't expect you guys to be able to hear this, but it makes a clicking noise. So what you want to do is start with them loose and go righty-tighty, one click after they're clean, by the way, and I'm holding it horizontal, right? I'm not holding it like this or like this, and I'm using the weight of the ring finger to check that. I'm going to go again, one click, and what you're doing is you're pulling the blades together. Why do you want to do that? Because your hand doesn't do the cutting. Your hand does the steering. What does the cutting is this adjustment knob right here. So we're getting there, pulling the blades. Okay, there we go. Now that gets you about 95%. Now I'm left-handed. This is a right-handed shear. By the way, if there's any lefties, or I'm sure in your organization there's a lot, anything I make for righties, I make for lefties. Because me as the owner, I hate that the righties get everything and we get one choice, right? So we don't play favorites. So anyway, when I put it in my hand, here's how you go from 95% correct to 100%. Still feels smooth. I'm going to go one click to the right tighter. And you keep doing that until it starts to drag, which would normally be 1 to 2 clicks after you've done what I just showed you. And you go back 1 to 2 clicks, and now it's properly adjusted. And when I show you checking the opening, it's going to look like it's too tight because there's a bigger gap. But your hand is so sensitive to your shear, you can feel it. You know it's still properly adjusted. Okay, so check your blade tension just once a day. Once a day, it takes 2 seconds, especially when you get really good at it. If you do that and you do your disinfecting and lubricating after each client, we've had, and I don't expect you to believe me, you can go online, we have thousands and thousands of testimonials. We've had people go up to 7 or 8 years between sharpening. Yes, I see a question. Wait, somebody's going to come to you. Oh, that's right. I didn't recognize you there. Yeah. And I forgot your first name. Okay, all right. She's had her shears for 12 years? Something like that. I didn't put her here, by the way. We're not related. Okay, yeah. So, but it really is the truth. Our thing is the way we look at it at my company. Our philosophy is education, treat people the way you want to be treated. So we only want people to end up buying 1 or 2 shears from us. If you take care of them, just love them and tell your friends, recommend us. You don't have to buy shears every 3, 4, 5 years. On that note, real quickly, what normally ruins your shears, assuming you're doing your part, is most sharpeners are horrible and they're gonna butcher your blades. So we're also the only company, we have a network of certified sharpeners throughout the country. They don't work for me. I don't get a commission. I don't get a kickback. It's always about the customer. It's never about the money. Whenever I do classes at schools and stuff, I tell the students, focus on the customer. But I need money. So if you get the customer, you get the money anyway. But you get it for the right reasons, right? So everybody's entitled to make a living and make a profit. Don't overcharge, do the right thing, but just focus on your customers. So we have a network of sharpeners throughout the United States. They don't work for me, but as long as you use one of our certified sharpeners, and it's happened about 5 times in 25 years, if they happen to ruin your shear, It gets sent to us, and we say, oh, my God, yeah, they earned it. We give you a brand new pair for free. That's pretty awesome. Nobody else does that. Okay? Questions on blade tension? Okay. Oh, one other thing on sharpening. Somebody comes into your salon or your suite, and they have a certificate from us. Go, I do shark fin. Go to our website, because if somebody brings one shear, they're off our website, and we can't get those certificates back. So always check each time, even if you love that person. If they're great, still check to make sure they're in good standing with us. Okay? Let other people know within your suites as well that. Okay. Who knows what the difference between titanium and stainless is? Anybody? Anybody think they know? Okay. What I hear is, oh, it's lighter. It's titanium. I thought somebody was waving. It's titanium. It's lighter, right? And the answer is no. Shears are not made out of titanium. They're made out of cobalt, carbon, molybdenum, nickel, zinc. I can go on and on and on. It's just a covering. Okay, so we have them, and this happens to be a rainbow pair. We have them in black, pink, purple, blue, rose gold and black, etc. The three reasons that you would want a titanium shear over stainless, because whenever you want performance, you always want to buy a stainless shear. And if a shear is over $500 and it's in color, you're getting ripped off. Do not buy it. Like all of our higher-end shears, all of Hikari's shears, all of Kasho's shears, all of Matsutani, especially, I don't think they have any titanium anyway, but definitely they're higher end, they're all in stainless. So three reasons to buy titanium is A, it's pretty. You want pink, you want black, you want purple. B, if you have a nickel allergy, if you're allergic to nickel, the titanium, because the shear would look the same, just this is with stainless and this has the coating on it, encapsulates the nickel, so you're not going to have that allergic reaction. Or you're cutting, let's say, very coarse hair. You're cutting extensions that maybe don't have 100% human hair. Excuse me. So that would be the third reason, and I need to jump back for a second. So the difference is any quality stainless shear, and specifically our shears and the other brands I mentioned, are going to have what's called a full convex edge, which means it goes right to a point. Anything with color on it is going to go almost to a point, and it's going to flatten. It's going to blunt. So the best way I can explain it to you guys, because I stopped shaving my legs years ago, is think about a brand new razor, how it slides. And again, I don't know because I don't shave my legs. I don't know if it takes a week or 2 weeks. I'm sure the coarser your hair is or the amount of hair. But over time, it gets duller, and starts to drag. Is that right? Yeah? Okay. A brand new shear is like a stainless shear with a full convex edge. A razor that you've used for a week or two, however long it takes to start dulling out, is a titanium shear. And basically it blunts at the edge. I mean, it's either called a micro bevel or a semi-convex, where your stainless shears are a full convex. So the third reason to buy a titanium shear is, let's say you're doing a lot of dry cutting, and for dry hair you're cutting unlubricated, coarse hair, unlubricated hair. So you need a harder metal to help hold the edge better. But you might say, look, I only have $300 or $400. I can't spend $700 or $800 or $1,600 like we have a Damascus shear. So people will go to the titanium shears because the edge will last longer. It's slightly less sharp. So any questions on that at all? Okay. I want you guys to do a little exercise with me, and I wasn't able to bring the slides and stuff. But I want everybody first, we're going to talk about handle design real quickly. There are 3 handle designs. The oldest one is what's called an opposing grip. Some of you are probably using them, where the thumb handle is directly underneath the ring finger, okay? It is the worst design in the world. So years and years ago, somebody had the great idea to move the thumb handle forward. So the next one will be an offset grip, which means it's slightly offset from the ring finger. The third handle design, which is the best design in the world, it's the only thing that I have on our shears, is a full offset or a crane design. That's not unique to shark fin. There's tons of brands that have it. But to make a point, I want you guys first just to shake your hand. Shake it, okay? And then stop and see where your thumb is. Where's your thumb? It's underneath which finger? Right, the index finger. Who said ring finger? Okay, because I have to help you then. Okay, it's underneath your index finger, right? So a full offset handle design, that's where it puts your thumb is underneath your index finger. So what I want you guys to do is take one hand. I'm doing it, I'm left-handed. Take one hand and take the other hand and put your thumb behind your thumb on the opposite hand like this, and close your index finger on the other side of your thumb. Everybody got that? Now slowly take your thumb and move it to your ring finger and feel how everything tightens up underneath your thumb. Do you guys feel that? Yeah? Okay. That's an opposing grip. Horrible. If you have a pair of those shears, get rid of them. It's not you're not helping yourself. Now touch your middle finger. And you feel it got a little looser? Yeah? Yes? Don't make me come down there. Okay. Now touch your index finger. Feel how it really loosened up? Because I can tell you this stuff. I mean, we're all tactile people. I invented all this stuff. I'm not a hairdresser. I'm just an ADD kind of guy, but creative. So I'm a visual person, right? So you can feel the difference. The other thing is make sure when you buy a shear, when you shook your hand, you relaxed it, and you look at the spacing, right, between your thumb and your index finger. When you hold our shears, and again, you'll find other shears that will have this as well, it's almost a similar gap, okay? So I can only speak about our brand. So when, with us, I always tell new customers especially, and I have no hair, obviously, but just like you wouldn't let me tell you how to cut my hair, I'm not going to let you all tell me how to build a shear. I'm the expert, just like you're the experts for cutting and coloring, right? So with us, even the tang is a welded-on finger rest. It's there for a reason. It's there so your pinky is there, and especially with a swivel, and we make both shears, a lot of stylists cut like this. Well, if you're holding that finger up in the air, you're putting pressure on the nerves and tendons in there, right? So with shark fin anyway, it's a welded finger tang. The bumpers are screw-on bumpers. It's only a full offset handle. It's a swivel or a non-swivel, left or right, what size, and also what price point. Those are your choices. Why? Because I'm the expert. You're not going to go to Ferrari and tell them how they should make the tires or the engine or, right? Or anything else. So the other thing is, here's a good one. Again, we're kind of jumping a little bit, but the two most important things, by the way, was the first things I did with you all. Disinfecting, lubricating, right? And as well as blade tension. But here's something I can help you guys with a lot. And again, I've seen this all over, literally from New Zealand, all over Europe, and back here. We're patented throughout North America and Europe, by the way. Who thinks if you go from a 5.5 to a 6 1/4, you're picking up an extra 3/4 of an inch? Raise their hands. But you have to be honest. If you really think that, you got to say, okay. So nobody? Okay. So the truth is, when you measure a shear, you measure from the tip of the blades back to where the finger rest connects to the handle. And everybody goes, I'm only use a 5.5 or a 7 or forget sizes. Put it in your hand like here's a 5.5, a non-swivel, and it feels good. Go bigger. It feels good. Keep going bigger till it's too big. You're going to know when it's in your hand. Go back one size. That's the right size because when you hold a 5.5 to a 6 1/4, that's barely a 1/4 inch. It's not 3/4 of an inch. So why is it important to go to a larger shear? A, you're going to get through your haircuts quicker, more efficiently, right? B, your cuts, and even though I don't cut hair, are going to be more precise because especially when you're framing the face and you want to cut a length that's that wide instead of going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe it's only 1, 2. Okay, so don't get sucked into I only use this size or that size. It doesn't matter, okay? It's what feels good in your hand. For those of you out there who have never tried a swivel, and we started, I do take a lot of credit for really pushing the swivel part of the business. I mean, when I started the company 25 years ago, there were some swivel shears out there. Nobody, even still, which is great. I love dumb competition. You come to a booth, if any of you have been to our booth, we educate you. We say there's no pressure. Go check everybody else out. And if we did our job right, you're going to come back anyway, right? Everybody should use a swivel. Now, and I'll be honest, I am not a patient person. I probably wanted to be one of the few people that wouldn't just because I'm a very impatient person, but I'm not a hairdresser. If I was a stylist, you guys have to be patient. You couldn't do what you do, right? So here's the difference. If I was going to do a blunt cut and it didn't swivel, here, I'll just do it with this. Okay, there's a non-swivel. My wrist is bent, my elbow's up, my shoulder's up, right? And I'm going to do my blunt cut. If I use a swivel, and here's the thing for those of you that have used a swivel before, and you say, I hate it, I feel like, for those of you who know who Jerry Lewis was, he was a comedian, right? And he would do wacky stuff. The reason our shears are better than, let's say, if Hikari had a swivel or Kasha or whomever, not that we're better, because metal's metal. The same metal is sharpened the same way. It's the same shear, right? But we have, and it's hard to see it here, and Larry's going to, if he didn't pass out those bags, he will, and I apologize, but we have a patented scissor fitting system. So we can custom fit the shear to each person's exact ring finger and thumb diameter. Why is that important? It's, like I said, if you're a size 8 shoe and I give you a 12, you're going to bend your toes to walk in that shoe. Imagine having your fingers bent all day like that, not fitted properly. That causes carpal tunnel, nerve damage, sore shoulder, neck, elbow, whatever. And we tell people, hey, you don't have to trust us. You have 30 days. You don't love them, return them. We'll even pay the shipping. You love them, tell your friends about us. That's how we've built a multi-million-dollar business. Now, still 25 years later, but it's been awesome. And I love that we're helping people. I love when people come up to us at a show and say, oh, you invented this. Could I give you a hug? Because before I can only work 2-3 hours a day. Now I can work 12 or 14 as long as I want with no pain. So now I'm going to hold a swivel shear and do a blunt cut. So here's what's cool. I'll hold this so you see it. Well, you'll see it's not going to move. I'm going to drop my elbow and shoulder, straighten out my wrist. This is still in the same orientation, right, guys? But now I'm cutting like this. And the reason I'm able to do this comfortably is I fitted it to my ring finger and thumb diameter. By the way, whether you buy shark fin shears or not, we have amazing education. We have free Zoom classes every Monday. We have shark fin shears on YouTube. We have an amazing library of educational videos and how-tos on our website as well. It's free to anybody that wants to use it. So because it's fitted and because you have this little hook design here, that's why we call it shark fin, because it looks like the fin of a shark, right? I can lock my finger, but loose. Look how loose the shear is in my hand, and it's not going anywhere, right? So I can go from this to this, and I can cut. Slide cutting, right? If it's normally like this, you come up and down. Well, with a swivel shear, you just make a fist. See, it forces me to bring my elbow in and slice. So any brand swivel, not just shark fins, is going to be better for you. Any quality brand, because you go to the shows, you can see these cheap shears that are $50 or $100, and if it's not set up properly, it's not going to feel right in your hand. But any quality brand swivel shear is better than a non-swivel, and ours just takes it to the next level because of our patents. Nobody has our technology except for us, obviously, which is nice. It's nice to have something that differentiates you from everybody else. So I highly suggest you guys, if you're not using a swivel, to do it. We'd love to have you as our customer, obviously, but any swivel brand. But if when you buy from somebody else, if it's too loose on the ring finger, you're never going to get maximum performance out of it, okay? Some people say, well, then why do you sell a non-swivel? Because I've had stylists say, honey, I've been cutting hair for 50 years. I'm not going to change. I get it. Our shear is still more ergonomically correct, and a lot of people throw that word around, but it really, truly is. And as I showed you guys just with that little hand demonstration, everything I've done, if there's not a functionality to it, I don't do it. You know, so there's no bells and whistles, there's smoke and mirrors with our stuff. Any questions, even maybe stuff I haven't talked about that you might be thinking? Anybody? Okay. I can go on and on. Last thing real quickly, and this is all in our how-to videos. Why are my shears pushing and bending the hair? Blade tension. Okay? So if they're pushing and bending the hair, and one thing too is that the reason blade tension is so important is that, as I said earlier, your hand does the cutting, the steering. It doesn't do the cutting. So what happens is if you're not checking your blade tension every day, they're going to get looser and looser and looser. And so what you're going to do subconsciously is push with your thumb, pull with your ring finger, and you're slamming the blades together. A properly adjusted shear, the blades you can see how smooth that is, right? You can't hear it, but it's very smooth. That's because of blade tension. That's what cuts the hair. And it only cuts at the point of the V. So as I close, there's a gap after it, and there's a gap before it, believe it or not. Okay? So the more properly fitted your shear is, the longer the blades are going to last between sharpening, and it is really important. And again, you guys can use our certified sharpeners even if it's not our brand. They're on our list because they know what they're doing, and we have a few master sharpeners as well. That's what's really going to help increase the life expectancy of your shear. So please, I know this is being videoed, which is awesome. We do have a code for all the Phoenix Salon Suite people. It's PSS. Oops. Right. So it's PSS 20, Phoenix Salon Suites 20, and that entitles anybody that uses that code to 20% off any of our shears, as well as you get a free 30 and a 40-tooth texture shear, and a free shark fin aluminum razor with a feather brand blade. My dad always said, if you wash your face, don't miss your nose. So we could put a cheap blade in there. Feather by Jatai makes the best blade, in my opinion, in the world. That's what comes with the razor. And just because those shears are free, my name is on it. Every shear that we have has a heart. I don't know if the camera can even see that, way in the back on the bottom, because we have customers all over the world. That's my way of letting my customer know, hey, I appreciate your business, right? So when we give you something for free, it really works. It's not just a filler. So that's going on. That's going to be an ongoing thing for us in Phoenix Salon Suites, which is an amazing deal. I mean, that's really kind of it. I really appreciate everybody being here and being here for the weekend, and safe travels to everybody going home. And we appreciate you all. Thank you.